So apparently I've been making French toast wrong for years. I saw a video by Epicurious and it looked delicious, but it was totally different from how I normally make it. So I'm going to try to do that today. But first, let's go over how I normally make French toast.
So this is what I would call the housewife French toast, which is the way I've made it my entire life. Milk, eggs, vanilla extract, and cinnamon. I put some butter down on the griddle, which is at 375. That's wrong as well. We'll learn later. And then look at this. There's so much cinnamon on this plain white Texas toast that I have to try to drag it off. And I just really dip it real quick. So now that piece has a lot of cinnamon on it. Other pieces don't. And this is a fine French toast. This is the way I've made it my whole life. But I just didn't know this wasn't really French toast. This isn't like the nice way to do it. It's still good though. You just cook it a little bit per side, syrup, butter, good to go. However, I learned that really the ingredients were wrong in the technique. So starting with the ingredients, first the bread, that's challah bread, which is so much nicer. It was crazy with my first time using it. And challah is a yeast bread that is enriched with eggs, similar to brioche. The biggest difference between challah bread dough and brioche is that brioche contains butter and challah contains oil. So either one would work because they're both so thick. They work so well. And look how thick this is and dense in the middle. It's amazing. It worked out well. And then I let it rest on the counter for 30 minutes. Now this I still did a little different. I didn't do it correctly, so still I'm not making it properly. You're supposed to let it rest overnight and dry out completely or put it in the stove, but I didn't have time. Heavy cream, sugar. Also, we're going to go add a little bit of cinnamon in here. I got the exact recipe down in the description. Nutmeg, which I've never put in before, that add a nice flavor. Vanilla extract, that's normal. And some orange zest, which I don't have a zester because I'm not classy like that. So I just had to use my cheese grater and then scrape it out with my fingers, which is pretty embarrassing. Anyways, then we're putting in 4 eggs. And the heavy cream, instead of the milk and stuff, it just made it so much thicker and nicer. I also actually blended this together with a hand mixer instead of using my white trash whisk, the fork that I usually use. And this mixed the cinnamon and nutmeg in there evenly so there's not big spots floating on top. I like to go ahead and put this in a long Pyrex pan for soaking later. Do all 4 burners on low, come out. This is terrible lighting. Looks like I'm coming down from griddle heaven or something. I don't know what's going on there. Put my syrup on the griddle and let that get warm. And then here's where it gets different. You put your challah bread in there to soak for 2 to 3 minutes per side. I don't know why I'm trying to flip it with my hand. That's disgusting. I have 500 griddle accessories, so finally I grabbed the tongs. Use tongs. Don't be like me. But you let this soak for 2 to 3 minutes, and this is still different. If you really let it dry out overnight, they said 20 minutes of soaking. So, I still did it wrong. Let me know if you've made it this way and how you do it. I then turned off the 2 outside burners to get to the middle. Another difference, instead of 375, I'm at 325 is my goal here because I need to cook the outside and not burn it while the inside sets up. There's some whipped salted butter. I saw them use this on Epicurious as well, so I had to give it a try. Really, honestly, my first time using this on the griddle. I frothed up. It was great. It was fantastic. But you got to keep your temperature low or else it's going to burn. So total about 6-7 minutes in there soaking. Pull out all 4 pieces and just let them sit there and start to cook. Checking the temperature again, make sure it doesn't get too high. Because again, they soaked so long, you have to cook them slowly and for a long time so that the middle isn't still runny. More butter as the other pieces of bread soak, and then I'll get all 8 pieces down here on the griddle, and even the ends get on there. And they're all looking good. You can see we got our bread going there, nice and slow. Let's look at the bottom. Oh, good color, but look how flimsy it is because it's soaked up so much of that custardy, heavy cream egg mixture. So that's why you're going to go for roughly 5 to 6 minutes per side. I mean, it's a good 12 to 15 minutes, which is longer than I used to do other French toast. I keep turning it around because the front by my trough there, where my grease catch, is not as warm. And eventually, all 8 pieces at this low temperature just start to get this beautiful, beautiful color on the griddle. I'm going to plate them. I'm going to put more butter. There's enough butter in this recipe to make Paula Deen blush. That is okay because I'm not starting my diet until next week. There goes 1 piece of French toast, another piece of that thick, beautiful brown French toast, more butter going on top there, more syrup. Don't judge me. We're going all out on this. We're not shying away. I did actually put some blueberries on top of there, because they're a superfood, and I figured that would help balance everything out. But then I came back with powdered sugar, so who are we kidding? Anyways, this was probably some of the best French toast I've ever had. I'd highly recommend it. Let me know in the comments how you make French toast. Keep on griddling, friends.